Are we rolling?
Yes.
Can we also talk about...
Have we been rolling?
We just started.
Oh, okay.
Okay, can we also... I was just saying my dad, I was like, Tommy, you're a fast typer. Like, nice work over there.
Good typist. Yeah, I think it's typist, yeah.
And then I was like, my dad types like, I don't know if you guys can... He types like he hits one letter and then he like looks for the next one and then he like hits the next... It's like they've been in the same... Whatever. It's not as organic this time. But
funny.
But also, what is with this order?
I don't
Why
know.
the
Should we
fuck?
look into that?
Why the fuck is it not A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I? Why?
That's a great point.
You
I
know
feel
what
like
I
now I
mean?
have to look it up.
What is
Why
the
is
QWERTY key?
Keyboard arranged as such?
Oh, do you have Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's such a douchey way to type a question into Google.
What?
Usually you just keep it simple. I'm like, why is the keyboard arranged as such?
As such.
It's a bit too
They're
douchey.
like, okay, asshole.
The QWERTY was intended to reduce the jamming of type bars as they moved to strike ink on paper. Separating certain letters from each other in keyboard reduced the amount of jamming. I don't get that.
That makes no sense to me because that goes back to like
So it's like maybe
goes back to like ink.
Maybe it's the letters that got used the most had to be separated.
Like A, E, I, O are next to each other, and U, I, O, and U are right next to each other. Vowel city.
Yeah, but that's like
Vowel
how
city,
often are
top
those
right.
used together though? Cough, rough, dough, through,
But there's an I in between.
pious.
Nice, that was a good one. P-I-O-U-S.
That's all three of them.
People were just typing pious so
too
much. They were
much.
like, we gotta make a solution.
Well, the religion was big back then.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, this is like the keyboard is
funny.
suddenly like freaking me out. But we just learned it when we were however fucking old, and now we
Yeah.
just do it.
I'm dead at it just being because of the word pious.
Pious. Yeah, they
Everyone was
needed-
just religious as fuck back then.
and they just could not.
They were like, we got to separate.
It kept jamming.
Yeah.
They're like, we got to get these letters closer together. Okay.
Or actually, no, it
anyways.
wouldn't make sense, I guess.
No, it wouldn't make sense.
It's the
but-
opposite.
Yeah, but
Whatever, it's still
whatever,
funny.
it's still funny. What's up?
Not much. I'm like sweaty too. I hate being.
I'm so hot right now.
First of all, I was thinking this earlier. Like my feet, like I hate. I mean, they look fine, but like
Yeah.
my feet are always. My feet are always either sweaty or freezing. I have no
That
middle ground,
sucks.
and it's like that's how I feel today. My whole body, like and I hate
Mhm.
when I overdress. I hate when like I wore this and a pea coat, and I was like, it's cold out.
Yeah,
Then I get
it's
out
not,
there and I'm
though.
like a little warm,
Yeah.
and I hate that. I was wrong.
Mhm.
I'm mad at myself because I'm competitive. I was like, you idiot, you got that wrong. And now I have this like big coat and I'm like sweating. I had to pull
Oh
over
yeah,
to like
that's the
under
worst.
my sweatshirt.
That's the worst feeling. I remember like the feeling of being like, whenever you go from being outside and you're bundled up and then you get inside to being like, I'm gonna fucking freak out like if I
Yeah,
don't get this
yeah.
off, and then like your zippers get stuck and you're like just panicking and sweating, and like that is the worst feeling.
Yeah, it's like that claustrophobic moment. when
Yeah,
you get
of
in.
like I need to
You
get the
just-
fuck out of this
I
jacket.
still do that. Again, I'm like, ah.
Yeah, just get it off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But generally, I'm all right.
I hate that when my feet are hot or cold. That's like the worst feeling. So to constantly have that, would you rather have your feet always be hot or always be cold? Like freezing, or really just like hot and like.
Let's just make it. Actually, no, we can do feet and then we can do in general. Feet, I think I'd rather have cold because you can just. This goes in the larger question too because you can always just bundle up.
Yeah.
But is that an unfair like part of the question? Because it's like then it's
You
not
can't
cold.
just put your feet in. Right. That's a solution.
Right.
Like I guess that goes into the rules. Are you allowed to have solutions? But would you rather be hot or be cold? Which do you prefer?
I'm starting to like really dislike the summers here.
Yeah.
And just in general, not even here. Like New York's
On
a little
Earth.
hotter in
No,
city,
on Earth.
on all of Earth. It's just too hot. I can't like
It's
summers used to be first of all because
pleasant.
when you're a kid, we grew up like with this associated like built-in thing of like we get summers off as a
Vacation,
kid,
yeah.
vacation. But as an adult, you still have to work in the summer.
Yep.
And it's too hot. I can't do it
It's
anymore.
so bad.
Like summers used to blow winters out of the water. Not even as a kid. Like I feel like even in high school,
Yeah.
college, but now it's like too hot and winter's like starting to creep up like equal to summer
to be
for me.
kind of nice because
Like,
it's not knock on wood.
yeah.
Well, I don't even know. It's not freezing the way it used to be, but it's also terrifying because it is climate change. But hopefully we'll be
Right.
dead by the time it's really unbearable.
Right. But yeah, I can't go out like the summer. You go outside for like you can't walk for 6 minutes
it's so
without
bad,
looking like you
especially
just stepped out of a
here.
pool.
I can't be in New York in the summer, which is a really privileged thing to say because I luckily have somewhere else to go. But like, I got to get out of here in the summer. It's too hot. I would rather be hot though. I don't know.
I know.
That's a tough one.
I don't even know the answer, but
no,
when you're cold,
I think, here's my thing. I think there's actually no sensation worse in the whole world than being cold. So I would rather be hot 100% of the time. Being cold, there was a day.
Like extremely.
So there was a day that I worked on the set of Broad City, and my lockup, like my job was to stand in this elevator and make sure it didn't open while they were rolling. So like the scene, make sure no one would like use it so that during the scene it would pop open and I'd be like, sorry. That was my job. But the elevator was like outside and it was freezing. And I remember being like, I, in this moment, think I will never be warm again. And every time I'm hot, I literally think about that moment and I'm like, it doesn't matter because that was the worst thing.
That's a very specific, relevant,
traumatic
memory.
Yeah.
I actually have a very similar one. It was for hockey in college. We didn't get like Christmas break really. We like went home for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
So kind of a break. And then we were back, like, it was like New Year's. We went to like North Dakota for a game. So it was even before we went to North Dakota.
Yeah.
So that was cold too. But I remember like this, like you said, specific moment, like walking over the bridge to the rink. And I was like, this is the coldest I've ever been in my life. And I've never forgot it.
And never forget.
I can't say I've had the same specific memory about a hot day. So maybe I guess we just answered it for ourselves.
I remember being like, I would rather die than ever be this cold again. But anyways, that's my answer, I think. I'd rather be hot than cold.
All right, nice. But yeah, last week was good. I'm not a big like weekday drinker usually, but I drank like it just happened. I had like a bunch of things too. So I drank like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Not hard, but like
but still at this age,
it's a lot.
Even a little.
And my life was just way better.
Really?
Like I kind of understand alcoholism. Kind of makes sense. Well, I just had like a date. I had work drinks, and then I like had a dinner Friday. Like,
yep.
You know, little of this,
social
little of that.
activities. Yeah.
But just kind of really starting to understand alcoholism. Kind of makes sense.
The next day, it's not worth it for me. I'm like, everybody hates me. I'm anxious.
Well, just like I didn't get like really hammered any of the nights, but just a few drinks. I was like, this is very nice.
Yeah, but, I don't really drink that much anymore either. And when I do, though, it's completely out of pocket. Just chaos. Just hospital level. Like for me, I'm not a casual drinker. Like I'm a go to the hospital once every now and then.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I've actually never been to the hospital for drinking. But yeah, it's
neither have I, actually.
It's all or nothing for me right now. I remember it was always kind of embarrassing when like kids would go to the hospital in college for drinking because it's like you didn't like do this and you didn't like.
Or it's just like. It's like a little scary thinking back on it. You were like,
no, so scary.
We'd be like, well, now thinking back, but at the time, like, they went to the hospital last night. Like, oh, and you
like, ha,
like, all right, so what do you want for lunch? Like, what?
You were in the hospital. What? Yeah. Like getting your stomach pumped?
Yeah.
Crazy.
What else? You got any life updates?
No real life updates, but I have a few things. New York Comedy Festival was last week. Mm-hmm. And Ellen stayed with me, our friend Ellen.
Oh, yes. Please tell me about your week. It was
amazing. I love her. She had a bunch of shows. I had a few shows. But I'm not going to like say, the whole thing about comedy now, you don't have to be good at stand-up to get the stand-up credits. Not even a specific show and like anyone that I know and that I'm friends with and would possibly listen to this, I know them through stand-up, so I like respect them and they work hard and whatever. So whatever.
No, yeah, no one. If you're listening, we're not talking about.
We're not talking about you.
Likely.
If you're listening.
Yeah.
But there are people who are just like headlining these shows, and there's this one specific person who started stand-up like truly like 1 year ago, and his friends were like, yeah, he won't even, I know one of his friends, and they were like, he won't even let us come to his shows because he's like so embarrassed and he's so bad and blah, 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 because he's new.
Yeah.
And now he was Comics to Watch. I'm like,
yeah.
In what world, though?
I know. It's
frustrating.
Infuriating.
It's infuriating. It's frustrating.
It's all about followers.
Yeah.
I was talking to my friends this weekend. I was trying to explain, like my non-comic friends, about how it all works. It's just.
People don't get it, really.
It's very discouraging and tough to keep going. Like first of all, it's insane in general to do stand-up. Right. You don't make money for 10 years. you waste your nights in these bars and basements.
Mm-hmm.
You like get this rejection, not only like, oh, I can't get into that
Constant
club or I can't do that. It's like
rejection.
also rejection on stage if you try something new that didn't work.
Yeah.
It's just like an insane thing to do on paper.
It's crazy.
And then even if you're good at it, it's like you need all these other things to happen now.
Yeah,
It's
now you have
just,
to
like,
be
very discouraging, and it's like I feel like you have to like almost need it to keep going, like in a therapeutic way. Like it's so you need to like need it to do stand up.
What do you mean?
Like you have to feel like I need to do stand up, like
Right.
in order to like for your mental health or for your
which
like,
is how I
need to
feel.
do it.
I feel like I
yeah.
yeah.
And, or else like it makes sense to just stop. You know what I mean?
I know, and there are times where I'm like, should I just stop?
Yeah.
Because now it's like, okay, you build the TikTok following, and then you can just suddenly sell out a theater, and it's like, what do you mean though? Like, that's not how the art of stand-up works. You have to
Right.
get good at it. You have to learn it. You have to practice it for years and
Right.
years and get good at it.
Everyone's just skipping like the
You're just skipping it.
levels of it.
And in a way, like, I am jealous because I want to be selling out theaters and I want to
course.
be on tour and doing all this shit. But I am like bitter because we've worked so hard and everyone around us that did it the way that it's always been has worked so hard. And then you see these people who are like, I want to try stand up.
We're like good at making videos. Nothing against their talent.
They're
like
funny.
in that regard, like they're great at social media and making videos and they're funny, but
yeah.
it's just insane.
And maybe
that
they
they're
would
like,
be good at stand up eventually, but it's
Right.
you're skipping the whole like
Yeah.
you're
Well, the
skipping the
thing-
whole learning how to do
yeah.
it.
Did you listen to the thing I sent you? It was like
I didn't
Nate
get to I
well,
didn't have a
basically he
chance to
just
listen to
you
it.
don't have it's not like groundbreaking, but he was basically just saying like there used
You
to
have
be
explain what it is.
Oh, so Nate Bargatze was on a podcast with like I think Theo Von, Mike
Yeah.
Vecchione.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about the state of they were talking about their past, they're all the same age. They all came up
'Cause
together.
they didn't have like TikTok.
No, and they said they all did like there was a path when they were coming up. It was like you would do live at Gotham, which was like you do 10 minutes. That was a kind of a big deal. You'd like headline Caroline's.
Mhm.
Then you'd like try to get a Comedy Central half hour. And if
It
you
was
didn't
kind
get
of like that before
pretty
COVID
recent.
for
and
us.
and it's like and then like maybe a special somewhere else. Then you do on tour.
Yep.
And he literally said like I don't even know what you do as a comic
it's
now. Coming up.
madness.
He said that he was like I don't know what you even do. I guess just try to get following.
yeah.
Crazy.
Well,
and then
it's
even when you
just-
get a following, it's like you have 100,000 followers on TikTok,
And they don't
and
fucking care about
we
me.
both have like 50,000 whatever it is on
Instagram.
and it's like
It's not enough.
you
It's
know
still not enough.
it's just like I'm
exhausting.
just I mean I've gone weeks without a few weeks without doing a show now. It's like
yeah.
what the hell? I could just not do it ever again, and no one would
And
even
nobody
care or notice.
Yeah.
Well, people, my friends, whatever.
No, but
like,
nobody would be like, hey, you didn't submit your avails. Like, they would just be
Yes,
like, oh, I guess
exactly.
she died. Like, I don't
yeah,
know.
exactly.
But it's just funny because when we started, the way that I got into stand-up was I took a class because I was like, you know what? I'm never going to do it. I have to take a class to force me to do
Yeah.
it. So this was in 2016. When I started, I took a class. And in the class, they were like, hey, here's like a rule. Don't ever post your material to social media unless it's like the final
Right.
version, because that's just like not what you did back then. You
Yeah.
wanted to keep your stuff private and work on it. And then when people saw you in person, that's when they would see your stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like, I remember there was this like taboo of like new comics. If you like posted your stuff, it was like embarrassing.
I remember that. Yeah.
Where now like people will get up and do one open mic and do like one little crowd. Hey, where are you from? Boston? Fuck Boston.
Like
Ha
a
ha ha.
yeah.
And then post
It's
it.
like a shaky, blurry camera.
Shaky blur. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just like how it is. I'm not even shitting on anyone. It's just
Yeah, and
it's frustrating.
and
And I
I-
don't know if people who don't do comedy like know this.
No, I don't think they do. I think it's kind of like a lottery mentality almost, because it's like people are just like, I'm just gonna film this and throw it out there and maybe it goes viral. It's
Yeah.
like kind of that kind of mentality
Yeah.
instead of like, yeah, getting better and shit. Ah, my God, I could talk about this.
Yeah, you could go on and on.
Forever.
It's just changing. It's changed a lot. It's frustrating. It's like makes it hard to know what to do. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the festival was fun. Like Ellen was here. She's crushing it. She's doing so well.
That's the thing. Like, what are they doing that we're not? Like, what are we doing? I feel like they're always on shows. Like people out in
Who's that?
I don't know,
LA?
Ellen especially is always.
Well,
doing
Ellen's
shows. She's
crushing it. But yeah, the festival was fun. It was just like whenever there's a big thing and you see people getting these opportunities and being like, wait, didn't you just start a year ago? It's frustrating. And
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. But also
Warranted too. It's like it's fair for us to be upset about it.
Totally.
It's insane.
You work so hard at something and then you're just like, oh, I could have, I don't know. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
But on the brighter side of things, you are going to be an uncle.
Oh,
did
yeah.
You not? When did you, now that it's out in the world, we can talk about it.
Very excited.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, I think like
I literally wrote down, Tommy's going to be an uncle, bro.
I feel like I was born to be an uncle.
It's really fun.
I feel
not
like
being an uncle.
Oh yeah,
being
you're a
aunt.
vet. You're a vet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to text you for tips.
It's so fun.
I sent him a funny video actually recently, my brother and his wife, and it was like, have you ever seen the video of like when people throw cheese on the baby's faces and they stop crying?
Yes.
That killed me.
I love that.
But yeah, I'm very, very excited.
Oh my God, when
that's
is she
amazing.
due?
February.
Oh my gosh, my nephew is February birthday.
Wow.
So they're gonna be like 2 years apart.
Perfect.
That's so cute. Do they know?
They don't know sex or name
or anything.
They're just waiting it out.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so fun. That's really exciting.
Very excited.
It was like I gasped because whenever someone our age gets pregnant, I'm like, teen mom, like you know. But then you're like, oh wait,
that was on 30.
Purpose. That was on purpose.
It was on purpose.
Oh my God, that's really
but
cute.
But now very exciting. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I have like beef with my nephew right now, to be honest.
What's going down?
So he will not address me on FaceTime. Like he just won't say my name. He will not look at me. He doesn't give a shit. I don't even know if he remembers me. But I will show him Maisie and he goes, Wishy. Like that's how he says Maisie. He goes, Wishy. And then I'll show him I had my parents' dog this week and I'll show him my parents' dog and he goes, Chai for Charlie. And then I'm like, and who's this? And he's like, fuck you, bitch. Like he won't say my name.
Wow.
It's so rude. And my sister's like, no, he said it earlier. I'm like, no, he didn't. Like he's such an asshole. That
also is just also not painting a good picture for you in front of Maisie again either.
Once again, Maisie's like, I'm like, wait, Maisie he's never seen Maisie without me. Why would we come together? If anything, he's seen me without her. Maisie made a bigger impact on him than I did.
Maybe it's because Maisie's his size.
Maybe
it's like a size, like maybe he's like, we're the same, you and I.
Yeah. He's like, you're my buddy. Like you're my
buddy.
cousin.
We're the same size. We must be the same thing type of thing.
It is just like, I'm like, okay, fucking whatever, bro.
I
have one more thing about TikTok and Instagram and everything being so annoying. Ellen and back to Ellen, we posted a TikTok about playing Smash or Pass in your 20s versus your 30s and just how like your standards go down in your 30s.
Right.
And the questions we were like, he's a 10 but he has a peg leg.
Yeah,
and then we were like, he's an 8 but he has 2 glass eyes. And like and she's like, you're describing a pirate, haha, whatever. Someone commented on it being like, yeah, the ableism's not cute. I'm like, can I live? Can I fucking live?
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I'm not sitting there being like, he's an 8, but he's in a wheelchair. I said peg leg, bro. Like, I'm not even saying shit like he has 1 leg.
Yeah, like it's not you're saying real stuff.
I'm sorry, but even someone who has 2 glass eyes has to be like, that's funny that I have 2 glass eyes.
Yeah. They'd probably be proud. It'd be like representation. They'd be like, yeah, you're welcome.
But it's just, people will find something to be mad about. You can't say anything. I'm talking about a wooden peg leg. I'm not allowed to make fun of that now.
You could make fun of anything in front of you if you chose it. You can choose. You can find an angle on anything. It's insane.
That's ableism to say a peg leg. Dude, people who don't have legs, people who lose legs don't get peg legs. They get like metal like things to run, or they get prosthetic legs.
Right.
Not peg legs. Like this
old.
Isn't ableism. This is like pirate.
Or like the 1200s. Yeah.
This isn't like.
This isn't ableism or the 1200s.
Oh my God. I didn't respond, but I just really was like. You can't
so
fucking do anything anymore.
Well, we had a comment on our last video. It was like,
like you should be
supporting this 104-year-old woman skydiving, and you're ripping on her. It's like,
we're not like ripping on her.
It's outrageous.
Oh God, it's so annoying. But the ableism thing, I was like, wait, it's gotten to the point where like we cannot talk about like a hook for hand. Wait, you want to something so funny? Actually, my friend in high school took Spanish class, and you know how she said like the textbooks they would want, it was like more than 10 years ago, so this was like not present day, but they still wanted to have a little bit of like representation. They would have like some white kids, some Spanish kids.
Yeah.
My friend said there was a kid with a hook for a hand in the book, and they didn't address it. It was just like, some people have hooks for hands.
In what book?
Their Spanish textbook.
Oh, it wasn't like a history book even.
No, it was like a cartoon kid that was like, one of them had a hook. It's like,
That's preposterous.
are you kidding me?
That's really funny.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't know.
No, that's really funny. I had something on so daylight savings ended.
Ugh,
Which
yeah.
why? No.
Don't we just not, isn't it like I don't know.
So the reason I looked into it, because there's a myth that it's about farmers. It's not because of farmers.
It's not?
So the idea was originally rooted in saving candle wax.
Where did you
Because obviously, like, so Benjamin Franklin, who realized he was sleeping through some daylight hours while visiting France in the 18th century.
I can say while visiting friends.
He suggested
Okay, sorry.
visiting France. Benjamin Franklin. This I'm going to address again after. Benjamin Franklin suggested to French officials that they shoot cannons at sunrise to jolt people out of bed, so they could optimize the hours they spend awake when it's light out. That way they could cut down on the use of candles to light their homes while they're awake.
Can you imagine if one fucking guy in your town was like, set the cannons off?
Yeah,
and
right?
you're like, I'm not trying to wake, I'm sleeping in.
Yeah.
You don't get to decide.
There's not like a low cannon and a high cannon.
No.
And there's no proximity. It's a cannon throughout the town. Bro, we need to bring back cannon alarms.
We need to bring back cannons in general. I want to be shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
Like,
for people and alarm. Bro, imagine like wake up calls at hotels.
yeah,
Be
we talked
madness.
about that once, about how like wake up calls used to be a thing.
Yeah.
But cannons, what is a cannon even?
I don't know. It was for I know what it is.
Like, what is it? It's like a big
I don't know how
ball.
it works. Was that like a giant gun?
I
It has to have the
guess.
same mechanics as a
I
gun,
think it uses
right?
like gunpowder. I think it's like a gigantic
I think
gun.
it looks like a gun if you think about it. It's a gigantic gun, and it's the ball's
What
the
is
bullet.
the purpose? Not to like make myself sound dumb, but what is the purpose of a cannon?
War?
Like to hurt people with it?
I think so, but that's
To
really like
launch-
one target. I think actually I think it was like for ships probably. It would destroy the ships. That makes sense.
Battleship
It wasn't just like you
situation.
aimed for
And
one person and
person?
just smoke them with a
Yeah.
ball.
Like one big heavy metal ball and
Yeah.
just like get one person.
That'll
And
be
they have a long time to dodge it too, because it's like,
Yeah.
and they're like,
They just-
ah. Yeah, it lands right next to them.
Also, that'd be so inefficient for the number of people you're facing.
No, yeah.
Just one ball at a time that people could avoid. But yeah, I just got a kick out of that. Like
I thought it was for farmers.
no, but it's for cannons. Imagine snoozing a cannonball.
Yeah, yeah. Snooze. You'd have to be like, snooze. Snooze it.
Yell it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea of like acoustic alarms, like manual alarms. I would love to have like one of those like announcer trumpeteers.
Oh,
Like
what is it's called? Taps, I think.
are they?
Yeah, it's called taps.
Just 3
I think.
feet from my pillow.
Yeah, I want that. I want that too. Like, but I don't want just like a recording. I want like a person to literally
Right, standing like
Yeah.
overnight.
Yes.
I like get up to go to the bathroom in the morning. I like middle of the night. I like trip over.
Step
I'm like,
over them.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, excuse me.
Like help yourself with some water if you want.
Yeah, make yourself at home. Just as long as you're playing that shit at 8
Yeah.
a.m. Do what you need to do. Yeah, that's funny. I mean, we don't need it. I mean, technology. We just
I know. Cannonballs for Alarms sounds like something Mark Wahlberg would do. That fucking loser. Do you ever watch Mark Wahlberg's?
mm-mm.
He's like the biggest hardo.
No, I don't really know much
ever.
about him besides like he's
It's
from
not
Boston.
funny, right? He's
and
just like a loser. He's like I
Is
get
he
up.
a loser?
Yeah, he's just like gets up at 3 a.m. He's like pray
Oh,
up, bless.
fuck
He's like pray
that.
up, bless up. I get in 2 workouts before breakfast.
No.
Like yeah.
See, that's the kind of thing where like when I'm on a dating app and I see a picture of a guy running a marathon, I'm like, you're not gonna like me.
yeah.
You're not gonna like me. And it's okay that you run marathons and it's okay that you like do what you do. And they're like, oh, typical Sunday, working out and then fucking. I'm like, it's not
Yeah.
about you. It's about me. Like, you will not like me.
Yeah.
Even if this person could be so hot, they could be whatever. Like, it's not a match.
Right.
Me and Mark Wahlberg are not a match.
Right. Yeah.
Is essentially what I'm saying.
Similar to that, I just thought of so roosters.
Mm-hmm. I was going to bring up roosters too.
Well, what do they know that we don't know?
Where are they also?
Where are they? Have you ever seen a baby rooster? There's a lot of questions.
Well, where do roosters like live? And how do they know that that's their job?
And how do they know what time it is?
And do they all do it at the same time?
Who was the first one to
do it? Who was the first
Who's
rooster to start screaming?
the first rooster to do it? And were they like, yo, shut up, we're sleeping? The other roosters.
I love, do you ever watch BoJack Horseman?
No.
So, okay, in BoJack Horseman, there's really, if you pay like close attention, there's little things that happen that are so funny. And in one episode, it's just like an establishing shot of the house in the morning and a rooster's just running by screaming. Like he's on a run and he's just screaming.
That's good.
And it's just so good. But yeah, I don't know where roosters.
Do they know their help? Do they know?
Where do they get off waking people up?
Yeah.
Like that. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what a rooster.
Yeah, like, what do they think is going on?
I don't know.
What do they think is happening?
What do they think they're doing when they're screaming in the
bloody
morning?
Murder.
They're screaming bloody murder.
They are screaming bloody murder.
They're like, yeah.
They're not in danger. I don't think they know they're.
Can you look up why do roosters scream in the morning?
Roosters anticipate sunrise to get a head start on their daily.
Anticipate? Like, what do you mean?
They don't know what anticipating
they're like,
is.
Oh, they're so nervous. They're like, daytime's coming. Daytime's coming.
They got a big day ahead of me.
Yeah.
They anticipate sunrise to get a head start on their daily hunt for food and defensive territory.
To get a head start. That's
it's like
hilarious.
No one else is up that early.
You don't need to, again, with the like, here's my 5
They
to
are,
9 before my 9
I was
to 5.
just going to say that.
Yeah.
Like roosters would be, they're the Mark Wahlberg of animals.
Yeah, totally. They're for sure waking up being like, here's my 5 to 9 before my 9. They wake up screaming and then they do a 5
here's
to
my
9.
5 to 9.
Yeah. Do some yoga, pack a lunch.
Then I scream bloody murder.
Scream bloody murder. That's so funny.
But if one rooster in the neighborhood has an internal clock that's set a little early, he can stimulate other roosters to crow early too. The rooster's sunrise song is actually a way of establishing his territory.
Animals are so creepy and weird.
Imagine if there was like a bunch of animals just screaming right next to each other to try to establish
dominance. That is so. Animals are like. I mean, that could bring me to my headline that I have for this week.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna like this one because we've kind of talked about this before. This says pet parrot went missing and returned home 4 years later speaking Spanish. I'm not even kidding. I need to pull it up. It's unreal.
How did they know it was the same parrot?
I guess it's like you'd know if it was your dog.
Right, I guess.
It says pet parrot that spoke with a British accent went missing and came home years later speaking Spanish. Nigel the parrot spent 4 years missing, but during that time he developed a special bond with a Guatemalan grandfather who taught him Spanish. The bird became a cherished companion to the man, particularly after the passing of his wife, who used to whistle songs to Nigel. Nigel was later found and taken to a vet who identified the original family through the bird's microchip.
Wow.
The owner then allowed the new family to keep Nigel after learning how special he was to them. We just also need to go back to parrots can talk.
Yeah, that's insane. That's like too funny. I can't even make a joke. I can't even make a joke about it. It's too funny. Like that headline is perfect enough.
It's the most perfect headline I've ever read in my life. Returns 4 years later speaking Spanish.
Oh, that's perfect.
He's like, hola. And they're like, Nigel? Yeah.
Me amo Nigel.
Me amo Nigel. But we have had a conversation about like.
Oh, yeah. Parrots talking. It's not talked about enough. Yeah.
No one's talking about that.
Ironically, not talked about enough.
Parrots can speak English.
Did you see the video? There was a video on TikTok of a parrot who was saying, let me out. Let me out. And the cops showed up to the person's house because they thought there was like a kid or a woman in the house yelling, let me out. And then he brought the parrot out.
Wait, why was the parrot? Do parrots know what they're saying, though? So he knew. So you're telling me this parrot wasn't just. What I'm wondering is, do they just copy what they hear, or is he sitting there being like dead ass, like, let me out?
I think he was saying, let me out.
Like wanting to be let out, which makes it so much creepier.
Yeah.
It's one thing if an animal's mimicking what they hear and they're just doing it. But if an animal is able to know what it means
Right.
and say it in English, like at that point, you are not an animal.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
that
at what
should be
point
the
are you not an
criteria.
animal?
Yeah, that's the criteria.
What's the threshold? Like, if you can understand and speak English,
Right.
you're a person.
You're just a hairy person.
You're a person.
You're a furry.
that can fly.
You have to get a driver's license.
You have to get a job. Like,
You have to get a job.
you don't get to just sit around because I don't get to just sit
Right.
around.
Exactly. Put some pants on.
Make yourself a useful member of society. If you can sit in a garage and say, let me out, let me out,
Right.
you gotta get a job.
Sure, you don't have arms or hands. We'll help you with like making sandwiches and stuff. But
you can find something that works for you.
put on some pants, and there are definitely jobs where you just have to press buttons.
Get a resume and get out there.
Get a resume. You can type with your nose. Make a resume.
I feel like parrots also low key can like do shit. Like they're good dancers. Have you ever seen videos of parrots dancing?
No.
It's hilarious.
So they are people.
So good at dancing. Like they have rhythm and they're really, really good.
Come on.
I'm not kidding.
So they're legitimate people.
They just have like good rhythm and they can, I'll find a better video to like put, whatever. It's not working. But yeah.
Right.
What else are they doing?
Oh my God, that's so good.
They're just
editing
creepy.
the videos. Telling parents to get out there and get a job is so good.
Get out there and look alive.
You can probably speak better than like half our country.
Right. That's hilarious. Let me out.
That's
me
funny.
out. Did
Like
you
that.
have
That's
notes in your phone or anything like specific?
I learned recently that did you know that kids no longer have snow days?
Yeah.
They
so
just have
sad.
school on Zoom. On Zoom.
Mhm.
That is like so fucked.
Mean. It's like mean.
That's like a pillar of childhood.
I know.
I honestly think maybe kids growing up now will do less drugs when they get older because they won't be chasing the high
Of
that
having a
is
snow day.
the feeling of having a snow day. I'm still chasing it. That's
I've
for
been trying
sure.
to find it forever.
There was no better feeling.
Oh my God. And just
in
being
the
able
world.
to like go back to sleep.
And then throw your coat on, go out, roll around in the snow.
Like
hot
sledding. Oh my God. That's so mean. And I understand that technology has advanced and we can have class virtually, but why are we ruining?
Let the kids. It's like that. Oh yeah. It's like that feeling of like canceling when something gets canceled. Or
and
like you get work off.
And it's
or
not
school
just
off.
something getting canceled. It's school when you are a child.
Right. It's the
Nothing
worst
better.
possible thing.
Nothing better than that.
That is so sad.
I think whoever made that decision, it was always like, well, then school's going to go later into summer. It doesn't matter.
Maybe it was a parrot. Maybe we shouldn't give them jobs.
Yeah, maybe I think we need to defund parrots.
Also, speaking of snow, if it doesn't snow a lot this winter, I'm going to scream bloody murder. It has snowed like 6 days in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose it.
I hate snow. So I'm good with that.
I think it's on Christmas.
Yeah, okay, that's
I
true.
hate, there's no atmosphere. There's
That's
no
true.
Christmas spirit.
Well, yeah.
I can't be unloading my stocking and look at grass.
Yeah, it is creepy. And also, it's not even like it's nice grass. It's like gray. It's just gray.
You don't like snow?
No.
All right, why? Let's unpack this.
Well, it's gross. I feel like I hate to break this to you. I feel like most people don't like snow.
No, I think a lot of people like snow.
I don't
Maybe
know.
not
That's a
like
good question to
slush when
ask.
you're like walking through slush.
Just
but I mean,
point
like,
blank, like straight up gun to
I
your head.
think-
Like, do you like snow? Yes or no? I feel like a lot of people.
Oh no, I think if the question was, would you rather? Well, I think a lot of people like snow, especially
I just
in
think
December.
it's-
Like, if you were to say, would you want snow in December or not? I think most people would say yes.
Well, I'd be sad if there was never snow ever again. And I like skiing, but I don't like.
I like the vibe of it though. When it snows, it's so cool.
I guess
such a cool
maybe
atmosphere.
I do too.
I'm not trying to turn you.
No, I'm so easily convinced. I'm like, no, I actually fucking love snow. I live for that shit.
It's all right. We
I
got to
have
argue a
no
little more on
opinions
here
of my own.
anyways, so
No,
it's
I
fine.
know.
We got to get some controversial takes. Get
Yeah,
the comments, get the engagement.
I don't love snow.
I love snow.
I have so many.
Is that our biggest fight ever?
Yeah, I think so. I have so many random fucking things written down. There's just no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, throwing
But I saw this on TikTok. Do you know who the Kid Leroy is?
Yeah.
he had the Wiggles open for him.
What?
Yeah.
He's like an extremely legit musician.
He brought the Wiggles out.
What do you mean?
And he goes, welcome the fucking Wiggles. And they came out and they were like, fruit salad and yummy, yummy. And the whole audience freaked out. They were screaming.
What?
They were singing.
Who's his audience?
I feel like just like millennials, maybe. Are you
But, like,
telling me
we
that if
weren't
you were
Wiggles people? Were you a
Yeah, but
Wiggles person?
no, we were too
I
old
think it was
for that.
after us.
But are you telling me that's not you wouldn't
It's hilarious.
get so into it if like concert and someone brings out the you're not gonna like knock it into fruit salad yummy.
It's honestly like pretty brilliant marketing because you know people are gonna be taking videos of that like it's the fucking Wiggles.
Yeah,
And they're
that's what
gonna
I'm
post
saying.
that.
That's
Also just swearing,
some
associated
fucking,
with
when
the
you see some
Wiggles.
fucking mosh pits.
calling them the fucking Wiggles.
It's not even a joke.
What, dude?
And the crowd goes fucking crazy. Look at him.
Does he like love the See, he's young. He's like 17 or 18. So he's like 19, I think. So he probably grew up
like,
with them. So
you're right.
There probably are. To him, those are probably like Rugrats or SpongeBob.
Right.
That
is probably.
absurd. He's like 18, I think.
He must be really young.
That is so funny.
Because for me, I'm like, that's funny, but I don't have any like memories of the Wiggles.
That's why it's so bizarre to us, is because it's not like a classic for us.
Yeah.
But
I just
to
thought that
him,
was so funny. Like, if you're famous enough to just get anyone to open for you,
And
like
you
someone's so
choose.
funny and you choose the Wiggles. Like,
Of all people.
Of all people.
He legit just wrote a song of the biggest song in the world with Justin Bieber a year ago.
Yeah. Yes.
And he's getting the Wiggles.
Has the Wiggles opening for
That's
him.
really good.
Hilarious. And like the Wiggles are still around. The Wiggles have been waiting for that opportunity for the last 15 years. They've been waiting for their big comeback.
It would be like if we had the Teletubbies on the pod.
Yes. Wait, okay. I was so creepy when I was little. I was such a creep. I loved the Teletubbies.
Her name
Brought
ain't
them
Tinky
around.
Winky,
Dipsy,
Lala,
Lala,
and Poe.
I brought them around with me everywhere. Like a little,
All
I
four?
had little ones that
You
I
can
would
play
bring
favorites?
all four. Well, my favorite was Lala. That was, listen how creepy this is. You know how kids like sleep with a thing? I slept with Lala, the Teletubby. I'm not even kidding.
That's like a doll, though. That's fair.
It's like a creepy alien. Like, it's definitely not like, it's like kids will
Right.
be like, bunny. Like Kelly has a bunny that she slept
Right.
with growing up. And I'm like, I have a fucking Teletubby.
What color was
home.
Lala?
Yellow. And her thing
Tail?
went like this. No, her little.
Oh, did they all? Were they all
They all
different?
had different shapes.
Oh,
So yeah, I would be pretty pumped if the Teletubbies showed up
that'd be sick.
at a concert.
Because we had them on the pod and they just can't talk.
They can't do any. There were like rumors going around about them too that like Dipsy was gay, and I remember being like Dipsy's gay. Like he wears that like cowboy. He wears that cow print hat. He's definitely gay, and it's like I don't know that that's the narrative.
It's a great early 2000s conspiracy.
Yeah.
That's how like harmless conspiracies used to be. Now
Yeah.
things are out of hand. It used to be like, which Teletubbies is bi?
Dipsy's gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
Now it's like some like, oh god, things have gotten so complicated now.
yeah, I miss good old fashioned harmless conspiracies.
I do too. That's my
Like
favorite one.
Dipsy was gay.
Like, sound off. Do you think Dipsy was gay?
Like SpongeBob smoked crack.
Was that one?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Also, how old was SpongeBob supposed to be? Like 30?
I don't know. I feel like it could have been 14 or 50. I don't know.
Nobody knows because why is he wearing a
Amazing.
tie?
Right.
But why does everything he do? He's a kid.
And his voice is outrageous.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
that show is so funny. Like
It's-
we grew up with. I hate being these people who try and like
no, we
be like our
really-
generation, but like we grew up with the best kids shows. It wouldn't. It's not even close. So I feel like older generations didn't really have kids shows.
Yeah, we
as
kind of
much.
grew up in like the prime.
And then kids shows now are just terrible. Everything is too like theatery now. I feel like every kids show, all the kids are too like. Someone explained this about that 90s show. There was a reboot of that 70s show with all new kids, and the big criticism on it was like all the kids are like theater kids and they're too act. And I feel like every
there's always
show
gotta
I
be
ever
a lesson.
see,
There's always got.
and
There's
the
gotta be a
way they
lesson.
act, though, they're all like
Yeah,
too
really?
like they act theatery. When it used to just be like, I don't know, like
Boy
Boy
Meets
Meets World,
World.
Even Stevens was great.
I was just gonna say, my
Oh,
sister and
amazing.
I would scream laughing.
Legit,
at
they're
Even
still
Stevens.
hilarious. I'm on Even Stevens TikTok now.
I kind of was for a little too.
It's so funny.
like
Boy Meets
Louis
World, Even
Stevens.
Stevens, Drake and Josh.
I never really watched Drake and Josh,
really funny.
but I watched like yeah,
I mean, like
I watched Hannah
all
Montana.
that and the Amanda Show.
Amanda
There's
Show.
like kid SNLs.
I always say Amanda Bynes was like my comedic like inspiration as a kid because she was the first
She
girl
is-
I ever saw being kind of like gross and like maha, like being like weird,
she
you know.
was so talented.
She was so
like
good.
ridiculously
I know.
talented.
I wanted to be
She
her.
basically had her own SNL where she just played like 10 different
That's
characters.
so
And she was
iconic.
like 13.
I know.
crazy.
That is so iconic.
Crazy.
Nobody
talented.
like, we forget that it's such a huge thing, this like young girl to get her own sketch show on Nickelodeon. Like that's a level of fame
and talent.
Like she was so good. She was so funny. And even up until she was in like, remember she was in
She's the Man.
She's the Man. She was so funny in that.
I know. So that is so sad. I was actually thinking about how sad it was recently, her downfall, because she was otherworldly talented.
She
That's
was
very
so
sad.
funny. She was always.
Yeah, we grew up, and I hate being like this, but we really did have amazing shows growing up. Such like great sense of like good sense of humor.
Mm-hmm. I know. Rest in peace. Now I just like, I don't even know what kids watch. I know like
I don't know
what
anything.
babies watch because I know a baby, but
I don't know any like 6
I don't know in between
6-year-olds.
Yeah, I don't know like any 12-year-olds.
Oh man, so many good shows. I'm forgetting some too, but I was gonna remember how good was that tweet I sent you? Do you want your receipt printed? It's like I don't even care if I die.
Care if I die.
I
actually made a note on that. I laughed so hard, and then I was thinking like, this tweet says, it's like, cashier, do you want your receipt? Me, I don't even care if I die. And that is so good. And I'm also thinking like, I'm never buying anything. I'm never buying anything that's like expensive enough to need a receipt.
Right. That's funny.
It's chapstick. Like,
that's funny.
You know, it's not a fucking.
That's a funny line. You could do like a joke on that.
Yeah.
I think.
Like I don't need a receipt. Okay. It's $5. Don't embarrass me.
I'm so broke. I've never needed to keep my
receipt.
That's a good line.
What am I going to ask for $4 back for like a used Vaseline?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need it.
Yeah, you want like the paper plate for my $1 slice of pizza
right.
back?
It's just, yeah, you got to reach a certain level of wealth where you start needing receipts because you're buying things that are enough money to
be worth it to
be
return.
worth returning something.
Yeah.
I'm just not doing that.
That's so true. I've never kept a receipt, I don't think, in my life.
Or like you keep it and you're just like, oh, maybe. And then, I don't know.
Throw it away and eat home.
But
I like that.
So
you
funny.
should try it. You could try it as a joke, I think.
Maybe I will.
That's a funny line. All right. I mean, do you have anything else?
I have one more thing.
All right, let's end on this.
All right. So I've been vegan for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Not vegan, not fully, but I stick to like a pretty much plant-based
Quick
diet.
question. Do you ever get drunk and eat meat sometimes, or do you just
never ever meat? I'm like fully
Okay.
vegetarian. I will never eat meat again.
And is it because you genuinely don't like? Is it like a thing you have to try hard not to do if you're drunk, or you don't like it? Like if,
I don't like meat. It
okay.
freaks me out. I think it's gross. It creeps me out. I liked it for a little while, but not like it's not hard for me to.
So if you're
avoid it.
drunk and like you're at McDonald's, it's not hard for you to not get like a burger.
Well,
or something.
no, I'll just
Okay,
get French
gotcha,
fries, and I'll get a McFlurry,
Okay.
and I'll break vegan, but I won't eat meat.
Oh, McFlurries are
So good.
It's crazy.
But
All right, go ahead.
I've been sort of like doing this vegan diet for a long time, and then last night something happened. Like last night something clicked, and I was like, I fucking need real ice cream. Like I've been eating vegan ice cream. It's good. It does the job. But last night I was like,
Yeah.
I was like foaming at the mouth, and I just like needed Ben and Jerry's, and I went and I got fish food. It is so good. We need to talk about just regular, first of all, like ice cream, but Ben and Jerry's does not need to be as good as it is. It's fucked up.
It's like crazy. I said this, I think I said this last week. I was like, the only thing I don't feel bad about after when I'm done is McDonald's. I put Ben and Jerry's in that category as well. It is.
I feel bad after I eat it.
Yeah, I do. No, I feel
But
like physically bad, but I'm like, that was so good.
No, it's so.
I'm like, not even mad. I'm like, that was good enough to what.
Also, the amount of things they cram into each, like, oh my, you just like left your body.
It tastes so good.
It's like marshmallow, fudge, brownies, cookies, pretzels. Like, how many things can you fit in here? It's insane. I was eating it yesterday, and I just was like, oh my God.
Bro, it's literally, yeah, I'm speechless.
I'm like speechless.
I know. I haven't had those in a while because I think it's this last week or a couple weeks ago. I like had a stretch last year. I was having like one a week, which is a lot.
Really, one Ben and Jerry's like.
I'd treat myself to like 1 pint a week.
I haven't had it in a long time, but I went down to the bodega below me and I was just like, let's fucking go. I'm like digging through that. Like you know, the little freezer. I'm like digging through it looking for.
And there's so many different flavors too. I think the best, like honestly, one of my favorite moments in life at this age is getting one. I might need to
Core
do this
memory.
tonight now. Is getting a pint of Ben and Jerry's and like putting on something that I'm really looking forward to watching and just
Yes.
sitting there and just like it's
Oh my God,
letting
I'm
it.
seriously like gonna cry. I'm getting emotional.
I think it's like my favorite thing to do is know it, and you like I get all giddy. I open it up and I'm like, and you have the whole thing left,
and it's all for
but
you.
when it ends,
Oh
it's
my
a
God,
dark
I have
moment.
like half a thing of fish food at home that I'm gonna go and just
Oh,
absolutely
you have
fucking
half.
dump it over my head and just
You not even eat it.
just, like put it on my face and just
Maisie's gonna be like, this chick is fucking insane.
it's just so good. It's one of those things I was eating it and I was like, this doesn't need to happen. As human beings, we have made food used to be to survive. Now we talk about this all the time. We had a fried Oreo one time. That doesn't need to happen. Things don't need to taste
It's my
that
joke.
good.
I have that whole joke about it. The fried Oreo. Yeah.
Things don't need to taste that good. It's crazy.
Maybe that's why everyone is so like depressed now, because they eat a pint of Ben and Jerry's and like that was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I
Well,
want
it's like-
every moment of life to be like
What's
that.
like the snow day thing.
Why can't I be that happy
You're
again?
chasing that hit and you're just never going to feel like that. And I just was like, vegan ice cream, it's good and it does the job. Like on a typical, I never have dinner without, I never like end my night without having like something
I know it's so
sweet.
tough.
I
too.
never do.
Yeah.
I can't. But like
So fun looking forward to that little like.
Yeah, I look
you're like
forward
I have
to it
that little like sweet
the
after
second
dinner.
the cannon goes off in the morning, I'm like, I can't wait for dessert.
I have a cannon just shooting Ben and Jerry's into my apartment,
Into my mouth.
into my mouth when I wake
oh my
up.
God. That is.
I've lost so many teeth.
Yeah. Oh my God, so good. We can end on that. It's just
That's good.
I like my face is buzzing right now.
I know. I see, but this is why I need. Now I like really want to go get one, but I'm not
You
going
should.
to.
Or don't. You'll just have to like let us know next time. Okay, cool.
All right, great.
Okay.
Good app.
See you next time.
Peace.
Bye.